Alright, we move on to Men in Black 2. So I remember when this was announced, like, oh, Men in Black 2 is gonna come out. Cool. Like, who's gonna be Jay's partner? Kay. Yeah, because I remember, like, okay, not who's gonna be his partner, but like, are they gonna have someone else to replace, Elle, or is she gonna be the partner? I mean, she was in the animated series that came out. I don't even know this now, but there's an animated series. And she was in the animated series, but so was Kay. So I don't know. But yeah, like I mentioned briefly in the review for the first one, they wanted the star power of Tommy Lee Jones. So they concoct this whole story. The whole plot revolves around the fact that they need Kay. So you can't tell me that they wrote this and then last minute, oh hey, let's bring Tommy Lee Jones back in. No, this whole story revolves around the character of Kay. Like, if they didn't have Kay, they couldn't, this plot wouldn't work. So absolutely, they said that, they told the writers, write us a sequel to Men in Black 2, and make sure that it all has to do with Kay so we can bring him back. Give us a reason. Like, write this movie, revolve it around Kay so we have a reason to bring Tommy Lee Jones back. I guarantee you that's exactly what was said. Paraphrasing, but somewhat what was said. Because, you start this off, and you even ruin the character of Jay a little bit too, if you think about it. Because at the end, he was confident. He had a new partner. He was going to be the new, leader guy of the new... He was the replacement for Kay, so he was the new Kay. He had a partner. He was ready to go. But now, you set this up, and you got Patrick Warburton as his partner, and he flashy things him. He neuralizes him. And apparently, he keeps neuralizing all his partners because he can't find the right partner. So right then and there, okay, his right partner is Kay. So right there, that this whole thing is going to be about Kay. You see this, it starts with Peter Graves, of all people, telling a story of the lives of Zartha and Zerlina, who is this evil space witch thingy. Zerlina, who was tricked into going back into space many years earlier, back into 60s or 70s, whatever it was. And yeah. And Kay was a part of it. So because Kay's the only one who knows what happened, Jay has to go find Kay, and they have to de-neuralize him so he can get the memory. Only for them to, you could say, okay, we de-neuralize him. We can get the information and then re-neuralize him. Nope. Because once you de-neuralize him, he doesn't remember because he was already neuralized before then. But my problem with this has always been, if he's getting de-neuralized, then shouldn't the effect of every neuralization be canceled out? Like, he just de-neuralized, he should suddenly remember memories that he didn't know he had. That's what it should have done, but it didn't. Because they needed to pad out the time. They needed to pad out the time of the film. And then they had to bring Laura back into it. And it was Laura. The girl in the first one was Laurel. And apparently she got neuralized too because she couldn't handle it. So she went back to being a... Yeah, I'm sorry. But I said this in the first one. Kay was happy. He had a wife. He was happy. And this movie, because they wanted to bring him back, because they just needed to bring him back, it ruins the character of Kay. Because it ruins the happy ending for him. Because now all of a sudden they write in that we got to make sure he was unhappy. So it's okay we bring him back. So we write in, she left him because his mind wasn't in it. His head wasn't in it. And now he works alone at a post office, surrounded by aliens anyway. And there again, another problem with this is involves smoking. But there's an alien underneath the sorting, like when they put their I don't know, he's in a box and he's in there smoking. And Kay pulls a cigarette out and goes, "No smoking." Shouldn't you have smelt the smoke or seen smoke coming out of the hole before then? Common sense, you know. And you had a scene where Jay does the beatboxing with Bismarcky because it's Bismarcky and he knows how to beatbox, and so they had to have that little. It's okay, I guess. The trailers for this, I remember the trailers emphasized heavily that Jay's new partner was Frank. And that Kay was going to be involved in some way, somehow, but that Frank was going to be his new partner. Frank's in this maybe half the movie if even. And then he's with Jay, and they get Kay, and once Kay's back in the movie, he's kind of forgotten about. He's left at MLB headquarters, and Zelina takes over. Johnny Knoxville, okay, he's funny, but is he necessary? She needs a little sidekick. I don't know. And here's the thing. So, what I've always wondered, Zelina, right, when she takes her human form, she takes the form of someone who already exists, right? She takes the form of a picture of someone in a magazine. Someone that already exists. So why isn't she recognized as that person? As the famous person from the magazine? That's what's always confused me is she's taking the form of someone in a magazine, so why isn't she being recognized as that person? Like she's walking around, people are saying, "Oh my God, it's so and so." No, nothing. So they got to get the Light of Zartha back into space. Turns out Laura is the Light of Zartha. She's the I don't know. She's the princess's daughter. I don't know. And I had this thought when I first watched it. Is Kay the father? Because here's the thing. Like, Rosario Dawson is light-skinned. So she could pass for a mixed. You know what I mean? She's a light-skinned African-American. So she could pass for mixed if she had to. She might even be mixed. I don't know. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying. If she had to play mixed, she could. So, is Kay the father? Because that was always my thought. That, like, she was left on Earth, and that's why he neuralized himself. You never thought that? That, like, the baby, like, they had an affair, and she came back to give the baby to him. And then he hid the baby and neuralized himself so he would forget that it's his. He would forget where she was, so he wouldn't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Just a thought. And yeah, you get the same goofy antics with the car and stuff like that, and that's funny, that's cool. But, watching these now, the second one, it really kind of undermines the first one when you think of the happy ending that Kay got. And then you go to this one and it kind of just throws that away because they need to have Tommy Lee Jones back. Don't get me wrong, I like all of these. Well, I've only seen the fourth one once, so we'll get to that bridge when we cross it. But I like the first three movies at least. And I thought the fourth one was alright, but I don't hate any of the first three. I just have problems with this one disrespecting the first one. Like, the first one's such a great film, and it gave Kay such a great ending, but because the studio needed Tommy Lee Jones to come back, because they needed a star power, they ruined Kay's perfect ending. And it always confused me is that after that, because I always thought the end was going to be he gets reneuralized and goes back out into the world. But it doesn't happen. Kay stays with the MIB, and we get fart jokes and sex jokes. And then open the locker and there's a whole alien world. I don't know. The endings never made much sense to me anyway. But and we get more backstory with Kay in the third one, which I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense, but you know, we'll get to that. But yeah, this one's decent. Problems. Gil, I don't know. Am I done reviewing it? Because this is kind of a quick one. Acting was alright, or maybe Johnny Knoxville. Even Laura Flynn Boyle is pretty good in this. She plays Zerlina. Once again, Will Smith sings the song, Nod Your Head, the black suit come in, nod your head. That's a good song. I like that. I actually like listening to that a lot. I still do sometimes. You know. I like Will Smith's music. I should have said it in the first one. So, yeah. Oh, and I forgot that Nick Cannon. I knew that Michael Jackson had a cameo in this. I forgot that Nick Cannon had a quick cameo. But yeah. Give it a 7 out of 10. The problems weigh it down. 7 out of 10 for me. So, what are your thoughts on Men in Black 2? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. But you won't see me.